On the right, an 800-meter hyper-modern skyline. On the left, the exact same region, just 240 kilometers away, displaying a massive infrastructure deficit. How does a 15-minute F-35 flight cross a 100-year technological gap? We are tracking the exact radar path from Dubai to Bandar Abbas to test this airspace. Alright, strapped into the F-35A today. We're taking off from Dubai International and heading straight across the Gulf to Bandar Abbas, Iran. I wanted to see what this flight path actually looks like right now. Down below, we've got the Burj Khalifa, literally the tallest building on Earth. And the Burj Al Arab. The view from up here is wild. You have this massive, futuristic city right up against the water and the desert. How does a 240-kilometer flight across the Arab Gulf feel like traveling a century back in time? To understand this visual anomaly, you have to look at the data from 1960. At that time, Dubai was a modest coastal settlement. The infrastructure was virtually non-existent. No paved roads, no deep-water ports. Across the water, Iran was an established, industrialized power with a massive head start. But over the next 50 years, the developmental trajectories inverted. The GCC countries executed a highly aggressive, forward-looking economic strategy. They treated their geological hydrocarbon reserves not as an endpoint, but as seed capital. Dubai dredged its creek, constructed Port Rashid, and built the Jebel Ali Free Zone. They optimized their entire legal and economic framework to attract foreign capital and global talent. They built an ecosystem designed for high capital velocity. In contrast, the Iranian strategy prioritized ideological isolation over economic integration. While the UAE was constructing 800-meter skyscrapers and a multi-billion-dollar aviation sector, Iranian infrastructure began to stagnate. Foreign direct investment dropped to near zero. Capital was systematically diverted away from civil engineering and technological advancement. Look at the terrain below the aircraft. The extreme contrast between the hyper-modern Dubai skyline and the aging infrastructure of Bandar Abbas is not an accident of geography. It is the direct result of two opposing business models. One nation chose to integrate with the global economy, embracing rapid modernization and hypergrowth. The other chose isolation, allowing its infrastructure to degrade and its economy to freeze in the past. We are now crossing into Iranian airspace. The terrain is rugged, and the infrastructure below reflects decades of economic sanctions and poor capital allocation. This is the real-world consequence of national strategy. If you want more data-driven geopolitical flight analysis, subscribe and leave your thoughts below. But as we cross the Gulf, check out the Iranian horizon. The terrain is incredibly rugged, mountainous, and completely desolate. You can immediately see why a ground invasion against 90 million people in this topography is a logistical nightmare. It is literally built for ambushes. Approaching Bandar Abbas now, and the infrastructure difference is night and day compared to Dubai. It is a massive contrast. Let's see if I can actually land this thing without messing up the approach. Okay, coming in way too fast. I'm going to hit a quick U-turn to bleed off some speed. Now I'm too slow, dropping like a rock, and an early touchdown. But hey, any landing you can walk away from, right? This is just a simulator, and honestly, I just want everyone to coexist peacefully. If you enjoyed this flight, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if you've ever flown over terrain this crazy. Peace out.